Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to a small town here in South Carolina. Well, I'm already in the small town, I guess, of South Carolina here. And that small town is Pacolet, South Carolina. I'm going to tell you some history about Pacolet, South Carolina. I go to a few places here and I'm really looking forward. I've learned a lot doing some research on this place, and I hope you learned some new stuff too about it. If this is your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video at the end, give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know you care and lets me know you like it. And yeah, we're gonna have fun today, so let's get this one started. Now I'm standing here just looking at the mural on the wall here that welcomes you to Pacolet, South Carolina. Pacolet, if you don't know it, back in the early 1900s, was built around the Pacolet Manufacturing Company, which was they had three different mills down here in Pacolet, and two of those which got destroyed, which I'll tell you about later, in a flood down here in Pacolet way back in the day. There's a lot of history here in Pacolet though. That's the old mill there, and that's what would be your Pacolet River that runs down in the mill hill, and some more over here, part of the mill over here. Only one part of the mill still remains, and we're going to visit that here in just a second. Now just looking back kind of towards the river here, I'm going to show you our next building right here. This was the cloth building and warehouse right there. We're going to go take a closer look in a minute. I was going to tell you a little bit about the other textile mills. Two of the three mills, like I said, was destroyed to a flood back in 1903 that killed 70 people, and went down to be one of the most devastating natural disasters in the county of Spartanburg. And the Pacolet Textile Company was sold in 1947 and ran under the name Deering Manufacturer until around 1978, I believe it was, 1980, somewhere around in there. And that's when the Milliken and Company took over, and they didn't stay open but till 1980, shutting the doors for the final time. We're going to walk over here, take a little closer look at the cloth building here, cloth warehouse. Now coming down the hill here into Pacolet, or out of Pacolet into Pacolet Mills, that's Hotel Hill right there. And I'll tell you how it got its name here later. But right now, here's a little closer look at the Pacolet cloth room and warehouse. And I really couldn't find much on this building with my research I've done, but I did find out that this building was built in sometime in 1906 and finished out in 1907. And if you notice the rounded arch windows there, we're gonna go take a closer look inside the windows here. And I know now they do have every year they have a fall festival down here in Pacolet, and they do have it's called the Indian Festival. And when they have it, they open this up. They have it down here in this part of the bottom here, and they open this up and they bring like their crafts people in here, their vendors in here. They set up in this building now, and they sell stuff. So yeah, that's the only time it's open. I mean, I'm not sure if it was open this past year. I didn't get a chance to come down here to the Indian Festival, but in the most recent years since they moved down this way, they have switched over to using this building for that reason. So yeah, people still get to go in it. I've been in this building before personally, like I said, during one of those events. So yeah, but this building, you can tell, is very, very old looking inside now. Look at the roof there, and the the main beams coming down the middle there and everything, and the old windows looking out, the old wood floor. You can imagine, I'm sure it was real cold working in this old building back in the day. But yeah, As you can tell, they have put like a wall up. They're building something inside here, maybe for the Indian Festival, for vendors to have rooms to go in and put their stuff out. Who knows? Yes, they're definitely going to bring something in here because they also have a whole heating unit right there. So yeah, they're going to put something right here, at least right here in this little spot here. Like to stay tuned and see what it is. That's all new heating unit. Didn't even notice that while ago when I first looked in. I was excited about the old floor wood and the oldness of the building. This building is real old. Like I said, 1906. So yeah. Looking back here now, kind of behind the main floor we was just looking at. Now they said the front, I did find out in the front was more where they checked the cloth at, and back here in the back was the warehouse section. So this was kind of like going into the warehouse maybe is what we're looking in here. This is the old dock. As you can tell, this is where your trucks would back up to. Right here, and here's one of the bay doors here. They would roll open and they would load the trucks there. You can still see how it rolls up there. Right there, the rollers. The door would just roll to the side. Not, doors lift up these days. When back then, just rolled them to the side, old wood doors. Look out for trucks. So I want to get hit up here. Check out these old lights they have. Original lights still up. I mean, I'm not talking about the light bulbs, of course, but light fixtures. Most likely some of the originals. Here's actually like the actual turnstile, like you would go in to go to work. Press your button, call them there, let them know you're here. They dig you in, you go on in there. It's just on the other side of the mill. I'm not exactly sure what those 4 concrete barriers are there. It's right across from the cloth plant here. So maybe that was part of one of the mills from back in the day. That's most likely what it is. It's right beside the river as well. Yeah. And we're at our next location here in Pacolet. Can't come to Pacolet without talking about the giant white stallion that sets up right here on the Pacolet River, on the old bridge piling there that used to be here from way back in the day. You always wondered, I hear people always wondering, what's this, how did the horse come about, what's the horse for? Or for people that don't know it, Pacolet in Indian stands for fast running horse. And that gave them Pacolet their mascot, which is the white stallion horse. But not only that, it was also the mascot of the 2 ball teams here from Pacolet Mills Textile League back in the day. Now the old pylon there, that was from the bridge that got tore down back in 1953. And the white stallion actually, 2 locals went and got it, R.S. Burns and Worry Kirby, on July 12th, 1996. They went down to Greenville, South Carolina and purchased that for only $2,800. It's made out of fiberglass, and that thing's been there for years. And it's very well known. Everyone that comes to Pacolet, they all know Pacolet by the white horse, the horse on the river. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Take a screenshot, folks. It'll last longer. Me and the white stallion here in Pacolet. Now we're going up the famous hill known as Hotel Hill. Every time it snows or ices, They always shut this hill down. I don't know if they come down here and sled down it or not, but I would. Our next location is right up the way here. And our next stop is right here at the top of Hotel Hill, looking back down. On the other side of the red drum there is the bridge. Comes to this. This right here used to be, back in the day, back in the 60s, is when it was all tore down. But used to sit a hotel known as the Victor Inn. The Victor Inn also was known as the Pacolet Mills Hotel, excuse me, not motel. It was built back in the early 20s, and it was built for the manufacturer company. That's what brought the hotel to Pacolet, was the manufacturing companies down at the bottom of the hills. So yeah, a little history here. And it would also help the teachers and the locals that needed a place to stay, because the school, the elementary school, but right up the hill here. So the teachers could stay here, and it was easy travel. They could walk to school, whatnot. We're going to take a closer look at the Pacolet ruins, or the Victor Inn, the Pacolet Mills Hotel. To see how old the steps are here underneath all the rock they put under there. I've walked around here now where I found some steel stairs here that leads up, and I've also found a building here as well. I'm gonna take a peek inside. The door's open. It's got a lock on it, but it's open. Not gonna go in though. Look at that roof bowing down. That's not good. But look at the old stone wall there. What you can tell, because the camera's not gonna do too good. It's not gonna. That's the best view we're gonna get. Looks like they may use this for their Christmas decorations, the store. Who knows? This is history though, folks. 1900s, early 1900s, this was built. It's a good thing we didn't go in there. Look at that ceiling, how it bows down right in the middle. Take one last peek in here. Awesome. There's the window that's in that building, overgrown by all the ivy out here. It's amazing that this building is still standing after hundreds of years. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And this is like on the main floor here. Looking back at where the hotel would set up on the hill there. And the old wood there that's sitting there, that's like where they would have a nativity scene at Christmas. There's the Christmas lights hanging up. They decorate this area during the Christmas time now. That's what they have repurposed this area for so far. It would look nice. They need to clean it up, I believe. And it's history here, you know. Bring that good old history back from the early 1900s. And right across the road from the hotel, they have this old chapel that sits back here. Let's see if we can take a closer look. Yeah, the hotel's just right there, where it would sit at. And this old chapel, they used to decorate it for Christmas every year. Not sure if they still do that. It needs work, as you can tell. Okay, it's just like a prop is all. It's just like a half building. I never knew that. Never knew that until now. Don't look down. But check this out, this awesome waterfall comes down there and then down and on down, and this is a creek that rushes into the river, I'm sure. It's awesome. Try to get it all in one shot there, all three. There he is. That is beautiful. Never seen that either. And I've been through Pacolet multiple times. Never stopped and got out and looked at any of this. Beautiful. Nature. On to the next location. Now I made my way over to the Pacolet Amphitheater. We're going to go take a look at it now. Now I made my way, which was a very short commute from the hotel. It's just right around the curve here to the Pacolet Amphitheater. Talk a little bit about this. It's got some history here as well. Check out this. This is like the main entrance per se, I guess, where you come out and look over. We're going to take a look off and see what we can see from up top here of the old amphitheater. Down there it is. The main archway to the amphitheater right here in Pacolet. As we go down the steps, they have this roped off, so we can't go down and get a view coming back up though. But here is the main, I guess I'm going to call it concourse here of the amphitheater. And as you notice, those pretty pergolas there, which is arches. That is one thing that the Pacolet Amphitheater is known for, is the arches here, how they're designed. But the Pacolet Amphitheater, this place can sit comfortably on the concrete here. 2,500 capacity is the total capacity here at the amphitheater, and it overlooks the river. The river is just right down there. Also, this was last used, the last use of this amphitheater was in the 1960s, and they shut it down after that. Now it's used for every year they use this area, like up there where we was just a moment ago above the office. They use that area for like also the area, if you go back and look on my channel, you can see where they use this area down for Christmas. So yeah. Now a few years ago there was a guy actually talking about getting this and redoing it all, cleaning it up. It looks like, I mean, for the most part it's pretty clean. I mean, it needs to be redone again, but it looks like they've come in and cleaned it past, because I'm sure if this has not been touched in years, it would be a lot more grown. So yeah. But he was talking about getting this place and redoing it and start having events over here and stuff again. I honestly believe that this will be a good place for to have some of the Indian festival at they have down here. It's very nice down here, and you see like the stage down there and everything, and the track that goes around. You can actually walk out here, walk down there and walk around and look back up, but I'm not sure how to get down there on that path. That's the only issue there. So yeah, but yeah, Pacolet history, like I say, the Pacolet Amphitheater. But if you look down there, you can see the river is right in there, and there's the pier as soon as it focuses back in there, right there, overlooking the river. All right, on to our next location, Pacolet Amphitheater. I found a way to get down here. So here is the amphitheater looking back now at the stadium itself, as at the seating area. How cool is that? Right there is like a little hut there. Not sure what that was used for, but the guy that I was telling you that was talking about taking over this place This has been several years ago. I think this was back in I think it was back in 2017, if I ain't mistaken. When I was doing my research, I came across it. But he was talking about putting like a projector in there and putting a screen up over here on the trees and showing some movies and have a movie night down here. That would be pretty cool, I think. And it would, not only that, it would bring more people in, more families out, you know, outside, getting some fresh air, having a family night, watching a movie. And not only that, it'll bring this place some money too, because you can sell concessions and things too as well. And you could even charge to get in to watch the movie. I mean, you don't have to charge much, you know, a few dollars. Yeah, I think that would be a great idea to fix this place up and get it looking right and have some events down here. You can tell someone's been out here tearing the place up. I don't like people like that. History right here. You could even come down here. This would be a good place to come and play some backyard football right here, out here in this little field. Here, on to our next location. And our last location is the train station. I'm not sure if this is the original train station. As you can see up top here, faded out, you can make out Coleman's up there. So I'm not sure if this is the original, but if this is the original, then I have some information about it, which I'm going to tell you about the original train station. I'm just not sure if this is the exact one, which I'm most likely probably maybe is. There's a good chance it's the only train station here in town and the only place where a train station has ever been in town. So I have good reason to believe that this is the original. But yeah, we're going to tell you, well, I'm going to tell you a little history about this place. But before I tell you the history, let's take a peek inside, looking inside here. That's how the inside of it looks. You can tell it's very, very old. It's an old building. The wood floor, can't really tell though because the camera won't show it with the window being so dirty. But yes, very old, very cool. And right on the train tracks is the train station. The first ever train to come through Pacolet, South Carolina was on November 25th of 1859 was the first time a train had ever come through this town. And you called it. The reason why I'm over here at the train station, what brought the train station was the mills. And that's the reason why I come to look at the train station. This looks like it would be a 3-story building here on this one. There are 3 different buildings altogether. You got this one, which is the big one here. Then you got 2 smaller ones up there as well. I'm not sure if that was the train station up there. The 2 smaller buildings may have been one of the train stations, and this may have been added later. Or if all 3 of these was built at the same time. They're all 3 made out of the same thing, so that kind of tells me they was all built at the same time. I'm not 100% sure on that. However, let's go take some more closer looks at the building. Now move to the other side, where this side of the building have started to fall off the main hinges up there. The roof is. But yeah, before the train station, this area right here was actually known where the train station is. This area was actually known as a different name. It was not known as Pacolet until the railroad came about, and then they switched the name. Before Pacolet, you had Pacolet Mills, which was over where we was a while ago, where all the mills was, and the amphitheater and the horse and all that. That's known as Pacolet Mills. Now, however, this area is was known as the Buzzard's Roost. They called this the Buzzard's Roost, but when the railroad came through, that's what led to the name change, and it became Pacolet. And the station here was actually known as the Pacolet Station. So that's how the town of Pacolet got its name Pacolet. Before then, like I said, this side of town was Buzzard's Roost, and the other side was Pacolet Mills, which I think is pretty cool. I didn't know that until I did my research. Now I walked over here to get a view of this other one of 2 of the other buildings here. As you can tell, still sitting on its foundation, barely though, as it leans there as well. Yeah, my question is though, was these two right here the original station? Maybe. Then they added the big one over there. Or was all three of them? All three of them had to be built at the same time, right? That's what I believe. I mean, everything I found out on research, it showed these three buildings every time. And see, I honestly believe these are the original three buildings that changed the name of this town forever to Pacolet. This is just a view of the big building looking back from the main road here. Yeah, just imagine how many back in the day in the early or late 1800s, mid 1800s, early 90s, I mean early 1900s, excuse me, not 90s. Just imagine how much cloth got loaded right here in this one little area and got sent on down the railroad all through the country. Also, during the research, I found out that right here at this station, Pacolet Station, that during the Civil War, that many of the Confederate soldiers actually would come down here and they would board out of here. They would board the train from the Pacolet Station and go off to war, which unfortunately for most of them, they didn't return back from war, so they lost their lives and didn't make it back to see the town no more. Yeah, it's just a little history on the Pacolet Station, railroad station here in Pacolet, South Carolina. I really love old buildings and I love trains, so this one was my favorite one. That's the reason why I saved it for last, and plus it was not nowhere near the other stuff, which it ain't far from Pacolet Mills. This area isn't. From Pacolet Mills, from where we just was at the amphitheater to the train station, it's only like a 3-minute commute. It's about 2.5-3 miles down the road, not too far at all. Alright, that's going to do it for this one, guys, here in Pacolet, South Carolina. I hope you enjoyed it, learned a lot of history about it. I know I did doing the research. I'm glad I decided to do this vlog, do this town. I learned a lot of cool research about it. Never knew this was the buzzard's roost back in the day. Now, the old buzzard's roost here got changed to Pacolet. So that's cool, learning how the town came about and how it got its name. It was based around the mills, of course, and the cloth that come up and down this railroad track here, and everything, the amphitheater, brought families together and stuff. That's pretty cool, and pretty good history. And the horse, the white stallion, how could you forget about that? It was pretty cool to finally learn how that came about as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something new. Like I said, if you liked it and if you enjoyed it, if you learned anything new, tell me down in the comments. If you got any comments, just tell me in the comments below. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. If you like videos like this, hit it as well for that reason. I post all kind of videos on here, and but that's gonna do it for this one, and I'll see you in, check out that one last time, the next one.